AITA for secretly recording my boss and taking the tape to HR after he sexually harassed a colleague for months. My colleague Maya had been telling me for 4 months that our manager made her deeply uncomfortable. HR had dismissed her verbal complaint twice. On the third occasion, I witnessed it directly. I had my phone in my pocket. Meyer and I had been colleagues for 2 years before any of this started. She is one of the hardest working, most competent people I have worked alongside. When she first told me our line manager had been making comments she found uncomfortable, I took it seriously immediately, because Meyer is not someone who dramatizes. She told me about 4 specific incidents. A comment about her appearance that was delivered in a way that made her feel reduced. A suggestion during a one-to-one meeting that she should be nicer to him if she wanted the project allocation she'd applied for. An incident in the kitchen where he stood too close and did not move when she stepped back. And a text message he sent to her personal mobile after a work event, a number she had never given him, asking if she'd made it home safely in a way that was, she said, different from how you ask a colleague that question. She had reported this to HR twice. On the first occasion, she was told it sounded like personality differences. On the second occasion, she was told she needed to provide more specific detail and was asked if she was certain she hadn't misinterpreted the messages. 4 months in, I was in the office late finishing a report. Maya was also there. Our manager came back from what had clearly been a client dinner. He had been drinking. I was in the small kitchen making coffee when I heard him in the main office saying something to Maya that I could not make out clearly. I came out. He was standing over her desk. She was trying to stand up and put on her coat, and he was saying I could now hear clearly that she needed to learn to relax and maybe she needed someone to help her with that. I had my phone in my pocket. I pressed record. I have never before in my life made a decision that fast. I don't fully know what I think about whether it was the right one. What I know is that I made it. I recorded 4 minutes and 30 seconds. On the recording, you can hear Maya saying clearly that she was leaving. You can hear him saying she was too tense and needed to loosen up. You can hear, and this is the part I have listened to too many times, the particular quality of her silence, which is the silence of someone who has learned that protest does not help. I went to HR the next morning, with Maya's permission. With the recording, am I the asshole? Update 3 months later. Our manager was dismissed. The process took 6 weeks. HR referred the matter to senior leadership who commissioned an independent investigation. 3 other women gave statements during that investigation, women from different departments, different years. Maya was not the first and was not the only one. The company settled with Meyer out of court. I cannot discuss the terms. What I can say is that she no longer works there, which was her choice, and she sent me a message when everything concluded that I will not share in full because it was private. The last line was, I had stopped believing anyone would do anything. I found out after the dismissal that recording without consent is a legal gray area that varies by jurisdiction and context. My solicitor reviewed it. The recording was deemed admissible in the employment proceedings because it was made in a workplace. I am not recommending anyone replicate what I did without understanding the legal context where they are. I am still at the company. I got a new line manager who is, by every measure, a normal person. I don't know whether I did the right thing in the right way. I know that Maya was not believed twice, in writing, by HR. I know that after the recording she was believed immediately. I'm still working out what I think about that gap. NTA or ITA. Was the recording justified? Comment below.